Hey, 60. Ooh, just got back from the Y working out. Did 5 miles on the treadmill. Ooh-wee. Oh, gosh, whooped, right? Okay, so, how I met your mother, right? Crazy, right? So, I grew up in Clearfield, Pennsylvania, home of the Bisons, and I went to college at Point Park with my best friend, Clifford Miller, who is, to this day, was the funniest person I ever knew. Clifford was hysterical. Great, tremendous, clever sense of humor. Always. I mean, always. So Clifford and I were freshmen at Point Park, and my high school girlfriend went to CMU, right? That one's Carnegie Mellon. And she was a Clearfield girl. She lived in Woodland. And went to Clearfield, and I knew her since I was a little boy. I knew her since I was in 4th and 5th grade. And she was always this beautiful, blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl. And she went to Carnegie Mellon. She was a double major in electrical engineering and chemical engineering. And I know your next question. What was she doing with you? Right? True mystery of the universe. But Jerry Lynn and I are, 40 years later, the girl I took to the senior prom, still remember what she looked like that night. The girl I took to the senior prom, we're still friends, you know, to this day. But we went to Point Park, and she went to CMU, and because I'm a jerk, you know, I never felt like I was good enough for her family or for her or for where her station in life was going to be. Now, let's talk about where her station in life is. Now, I live in Manchester now, not England. No, not England, not Brit. Oh, well, I live in Manchester. She lives in San Diego. And she's been with Apple for like 30 years. So how much money is she making, right? Fact, one time I said, come on, Jerry Lynn, I've never asked. Come on. How much do you make? She's like, oh, please don't ask me that. Please don't tell me that. And then she told me some crazy figure. And then she said, but a lot of that stock, and you know, it's not the same. And I'm like, yeah, because we know that Apple stock is worthless, right? So, she moved on to better and bigger things than me, and certainly deserved to have better and bigger than me. But anyway, while I was at Point Park, I met your mom. And your mom was Shelley Parkinson. She's an Irish girl. I love Irish girls. She was an Irish girl from Brookline, Mass. And then later moved out to Winchester. And she was about that tall. And she's a beautiful little thing. And I mean tiny. She must have been like 4'11". I don't think she was 5 foot. And you know, I met her, and you know, and I'm talking to her at a party, you know, and she tells me that she likes basketball, right? Because you know, she thinks that's what I want to hear, of course, right? And she tells me that she likes basketball, and she likes the Celtics, and she goes to Celtic games, and she makes cookies for Paul Silas and Dave Cowens, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, right, great. And she's like, yeah, I have my scrapbook and a lot of stuff in my room if you want to go see it. Well, I'm not stupid, right? And, of course, 3 hours later, I want to hang myself, literally jump out the 17th floor window of Lawrence Hall and land on Wood Street because for 3 hours she showed me pictures and talked to me about the Boston Celtics. I think that she had a scrapbook, and she's like, oh, here's a picture of Dave Cowens getting off the airplane when they were playing the Phoenix Suns and Paul Westphal. I'm like, what? And she even had, I think, maybe like a fake Boston Celtics World Championship ring that you got in a box of Wheaties and or Cracker Jacks or something. And then I think she had a record album, a recording of a championship game. That was recorded onto a vinyl, you know, album. Certainly that was before cassette decks and CDs and DVD players. So that's how they did that. They pressed records of championship recordings, and she had one. And that's how I met your mother. We both came from really dysfunctional families, and wow, that either of you is, you know, when you guys were born, I was expecting, you know, I was expecting like maybe a parts manager, a Jiffy Lube, and a stripper. So I ended up with a pilot and that graduated from the Air Force Academy, and an amazingly talented daughter that graduated from Drexel and who designs the most beautiful book jackets in the world. So now here's the bad news. Looking into it, I'm guessing the serial murder gene hasn't skipped. It skips a generation. So one of your children, when they start wetting the bed or murdering small animals, you might want to keep an eye on him, okay? Randy, I think Randy gets it. Randy said, I'm not having kids. Just for the court case, the lawyer fees down the road, who needs to be paying for that, right? So Randy's like our third child. That's my brother Dave's daughter. She lived with us through high school. So that's Randy Hoy, okay? And that's Shelley Parkerson and James Hoy, that's me, and then Neil Jason Hoy, and then Sarah Pearson, who used to be Sarah Hoy. And Sarah, I'm so proud of you of not using a hyphen, a Hoy, apostrophe, hyphen, Pearson. Oh my God, is that horrible, right? So yes, I'm so proud of you that you're just Sarah Pearson and you're not Sarah Taylor Pearson and not Sarah Hoy Pearson, right? Boy, does that sound bad, especially when you put that hyphen in there. But that's how I met your mother. And we came from highly dysfunctional families. We did the best we could for 11, 12 years, and then kind of ran its course, and we're friends to this day, which is kind of funny. She's even brought her boyfriend over to, you know, Thanksgiving dinner or whatever. So, you know, we're buddies too, like you should be. I think we had a common goal, and that was to do as little damage to our children as our parents did to us. So congratulations, Shelley. You certainly at least held up your end of the bargain. I think we raised two great kids. Okay, peace. B-60.